What's up, Facebook? How are all my dream builders? All of you Hot Pursuit Nation dream builders, how's everybody doing? I'm excited to see you, excited to talk with you. If you are out there watching me live, let me know you're there. I'm just bringing you up on my phone because it seems to be that I can see comments more easily on my phone. So give me 1 second as I bring this up. If you're just popping in, let me actually plug my phone in as well. If you're just popping in, say hello. Let me know you're there. For some reason, where's my, is this me? There we are. Okay. Hey, Mona. Great to see you. Great to have you on. I miss you. I miss you, girl. All right, so let's talk about a juicy topic. You know, I believe that I believe the power, I believe in the power of the mind. Okay. I believe in the power of our mind and that we truly are co-creators, that we are creating our reality every minute of every moment of every day, co-creating, right? That there's this infinite spirit, this infinite energy that is flowing to, within, through us at all times. And I believe that we have the ability to influence all of our experiences. We may not be able to control every outcome, but we definitely are in control of and have the ability to influence our experience with every and all situations, in every moment and in all moments. And obviously some are easier than the others, some are harder. And don't mind me, I'm getting over a chest cold, so I might be coughing a little bit. Don't mind me. So with that, you know, what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is how we can best use this power we have, this co-creative power we have. And what I have seen far too much and far too often is just this idea of being positive. Just be positive, say your affirmations, say your statements of gratitude, and like all is well, right? Take action, of course, be positive, take action, work hard, and you can create and have whatever your little heart desires. Have you heard of that advice before? Oh, hey, I see a couple of you jumping on. Hey, Deb, great to see you. And so I want to talk about this because I think that there is a myth or a misconception that if you just think positive, you have good thoughts, think happy thoughts, and take action, that's the key to success. That's all you need to do. And, you know, if you're not creating what your heart desires, then you're not being positive enough. You're not grateful enough. You know, you're not working hard enough. And I don't believe that necessarily to be true. So here's what I do believe happens. This is what I believe is true. This is what I believe happens, is that people use being positive as a tactic, as a tool. They use it as a strategy to get what they want, where they say, if I just can be happy, if I can be grateful and be positive, then I can do XYZ. Then I'll be confident. Then I'll be able to build this business. If I could just, if I could just fill in the blank of something positive, then I can have XYZ. And I think that's where people get caught up, is they think that it is just a tool, a strategy, a tactic to be, do, and have and create what they actually really want. And what I believe happens then, and this is the whole point of this training and of this message, is what I think happens then is that they are actually bypassing the most important thing to creation, to happiness, to fulfillment, to success. And that is, they are bypassing the truth. Just because you're positive does not mean you are aligned, that you are in alignment with the truth. And here's what I mean by that. Is I think that a lot of times when things aren't happening the way you want, when things aren't happening as fast as you want, crap is hitting the fan, there's more bumps and setbacks and blocks and barriers than you had previously expected, that then we're like, no, I'm good, all is well. Okay, think positive thoughts, think the happy thoughts. I'm good, I'm fine. Okay. And we force ourselves to bypass the truth. And sometimes the truth is ugly. Sometimes the truth is hard. It hurts. It's painful. Sometimes the truth it's just hard. It's painful. And because we don't want to go there, how many of us don't want to go there, right? I mean, who wants to run into the fire, right? We like to avoid the fire. We like to avoid being burnt and being hurt. Who runs toward it, right? I mean, but really, that is what's necessary. And a lot of times when you run into the fire and you get burned and you have to face your crap, you have to face your shit, you have to face the pain, the fear, the lies that you've been telling yourself, the limiting beliefs, that hurts. It's painful, and it's not always positive. And I think people are afraid of not being positive, because if they're not positive, then bad things are going to happen. If I'm not positive, if I allow myself to feel this pain, to address and face this fear, then it's going to hurt, and I'm going to be I'm going to not be positive, and therefore then I'm not going to create what I want. Then I'm going to be depressed. Then something's wrong with me. Then I'm going to realize that I can't really do this, that I'm actually not enough, that I actually suck. And so there again in lies the problem, because that's not the truth. But in the effort of bypassing being negative, it's not even that you would be negative, but in the lie that if I face this fear and I face this pain and I go where it's ugly and I go where it hurts, that then I'm not going to be positive. Well, let me just avoid that then and go over here and stay positive, when really the energy behind that effort of being positive is fear-based. It's out of fear. It's out of scarcity. It's out of lack, that I need to be positive because I'm afraid to face what's going on over here. I need to be positive because if I don't, then what, right? Then there's that threat. And that's, again, a lack, a scarcity mentality, all fear-based, all lie-based, limiting belief-based, right? Is this making sense? Does this make sense? I know it's kind of like a little bit deep, deep in how we look at fear and how we look at positivity. But there's a purity, a genuine cleanness. Is that a word? To true positivity. There's the word is just it's clean, it's pure, it's true, it's genuine, it's based in truth. Versus a manufactured positivity, a forced positivity, a fear-based avoidance, bypassing positivity. And so that's where I want you to really take a look at in your efforts of being positive. Are they clean? Are they pure? Are they truth-based or not? And so let's even dive into this even a little deeper. Because if when you say your affirmations, you imagine your vision, you look at your goals, you are doing your gratitude and mapping out your next steps, if the foundation of those efforts, if the energy behind those efforts is based out of fear, lack, scarcity, lack of self-worth, lack of self-esteem, lack of confidence. Like, I need to do this so that I can be worthy. I need to do this so that I can then prove myself. I can do this so that then I can finally believe in myself, or that I'm confident, or whatever. And so the root of those efforts, the energy, the foundation of those efforts is really fear-based, lack-based, low self-esteem based. Then you'll still always struggle to create what you're trying to create. It's a forced positivity. Is that making sense? It's trying. It's from a trying mode versus an alignment, versus an energetic alignment, versus a willingness to bear all, right? The vulnerability. And vulnerability requires truth. It requires truth. And sometimes the truth is ugly, it's messy, it hurts. So my intention here for you guys really is that when you take a look at how you're being, right? Of course, we all want to be positive. We want to be happy. We want to be joyful. My ask to you all is how clean is it? How aligned is it? How true, how much of it is based in truth? And how much of it is just a forced, manufactured strategy to get what you're trying to get or create? And so when we can align with truth of who we are, of who we've been created and designed to be, align with our truth of our self-worth, of our value, align with the truth of our intuitive genius, the magician that we truly are, the miracle co-creator that we really are. When we can align with that, I mean, even as I say it, look at I'm like shining like a big bright light bulb. And that's because that's true positivity. That's the positivity that will have you being this magnet of creating all the people, the resources, the materials, the experiences that your heart and soul truly desires. And so it's the alignment with the truth that I believe in. And if that helps you feel positive, and if that helps you feel happy and joyful, that's the point. That's true joy. That's clean, true, pure joy, pure positivity, pure alignment. But when it's just a trying, I need to force myself to be positive here. I need to force myself to be happy. That's all fear-based. It's fear-based. It's fake. And so instead of like forcing yourself to be happy and positive and joyful, why not allow yourself to take a look at what's really going on? What's really going on here? What's really going on that has you resistant, that has you frustrated, that has you scared, that has you in this place of lack or scarcity? I mean, that's, obviously fear-based. What lies are feeding and fueling that? And when you actually allow yourself to look at, wait. What am I really afraid of here? What need am I trying to get met here that I'm afraid won't get met? What part of me is not being fed, if you will? And when you allow yourself to, instead of force yourself into being positive, but rather you allow yourself to take a look at what's really going on. What is the fear? Where is that? What's that all about? It's only then that when you allow yourself to examine it, to address it, to go there, that you can actually realize that it is totally and completely a lie. There's some lie there that has a chokehold on you about what's possible, about what you're capable of what your truth is. And at this moment, it's running your life, or it's running your business, or it's running how you show up in that relationship. It's running how you treat yourself. And so to force yourself to be positive in that moment, it's not gonna do it. It's not gonna do anything. If anything, it's gonna do more damage than good. Because what's gonna happen is then, you're not going to get the results that you want. And then you're going to wonder, well, like, geez, what is wrong with me? Like, what is going on here? Well, I guess I can't do this or that. And it just kind of beats down even further your self-confidence, your self-worth, your belief in yourself. The truth gets further, you get further and further away from your truth when you allow that lie that has that chokehold on you to keep having its grip. So is this making sense? Now, let me relate this to your business for a moment, because, most of you who follow me, you're building a coaching business, and it's funny because this is what we do with our clients, right? We help them get out of their own way. We help them identify their limiting beliefs. We help them be positive, look on the bright side, find the silver lining. That's what we do, right? And so a lot of times we think we've done our own work. We think, well, we've done that work. I already know what my limiting beliefs are. I already have done the inner work. I've already conquered those demons. And what's ironic and interesting to me is that most of my clients, obviously who are coaches and trainers building their profitable, purpose-driven business, they haven't actually. They actually are carrying around deep, deep fears and limiting beliefs that have a chokehold on them. And here's how I know. It shows up in their pricing. It shows up in their sales conversion, or their ultimately their profit or their revenue. It shows up just even how they price, how they discount, how they close or handle a sales conversation, how they promote themselves, market themselves, how they even deliver their services, right? If they're over delivering, over delivering, not from a place of generosity, but from a place, again, of fear, of I need to over deliver so that I don't lose the client. I need to over deliver to prove myself. I need to over deliver because I don't believe in my own value that they paid for. So I need to give them even more to prove and, justify what they have paid me. So there's, hey, Valerie, thanks for joining. So that's how I always know that a lot of coaches and trainers are carrying around these limiting beliefs, these fears, excuse me, because, sorry, pardon me, I get really excited. And then this cough that hasn't decided to leave me just yet reminds me it's still here. But that's how I know. And a lot of times I know too exactly how it shows up, because that's how it showed up for me. I look back and I see just, oh my gosh, like it's almost like embarrassing, but I see how low my prices were and how still at that low price, I was like hoping and wishing and praying that somebody would sign up. And even when they signed up, I was like, oh my gosh, okay, now I really need to deliver. I really need to over deliver here because I need to prove myself. And so there was this, it showed up in my pricing. It showed up in my fear, excuse me, my fear of like sales conversations and talking about my value, talking about my prices, talking about how I could help somebody. Even though I was an extremely positive person, I am an extremely positive person. And so for me to think that I could be any more positive, I was like, holy cow, I'm a totally positive person. However, like I said, it wasn't clean. It wasn't clean. It was still rooted in that fear. It was still bypassing the truth. And so I would think by me just being nice, by me just being bubbly, by me just being a good person, that I would get clients. By me just being the encourager and the cheerleader and oozing this positivity, that would be enough to get the clients. That would be enough for them to know, like, and trust me, that they'd want to hire me, that they want to be in my programs. And the truth being was that I was ridden with a lack of self-worth, low self-esteem, thought I didn't know my value, thought I had to undercharge and devalue myself to get the client. And then once I got the client, had to do everything to keep the client, bend over backwards, over deliver just to keep them, because it was a reflection on me and my own belief in myself. And so I see this, oh my gosh, I see this. I see this all over the place, all over the internet, all over Facebook, of coaches that are promoting themselves and their services. And I can just see, the, it breaks my heart, actually. The lack of self-worth, the lack of self-belief, the lack of self-love, the lack of, again, bypassing the truth. They can show up with their happy face. They can show up being positive. They can show up being that hard worker, but they're not going to get the results that they're really looking for. They are going to work way harder to get those results than if they truly align with their truth. If they find that pure, clean alignment with their truth, with who they really are, with what their true value and message is, and get it out and get that out into the marketplace and come from that space, I mean, that's when you'll be this crazy magnet for ideal clients that truly are valuing you and your services, that are ready and willing to work with you the way you work, right? That are a match for how you work, of how you get your work out into the marketplace. So is this making sense? If you guys have questions, or if or thoughts are coming through, pop them in the comments below. So my ask to you all is to take a look at how you show up in your business, in sales conversations, when you're networking, when you're working with your clients, when you're just saying networking, marketing, putting out, whether it's emails, posts, podcasts, videos, how clean, how aligned is it? That's just sit with that question. How aligned is it? How clean is it? Is there a trying? Is there a forcing? Is there kind of that, what do they call it? That, like, imposter syndrome, right? A pretending, a persona, putting on a persona. If there's any of that, I would say that you're leaving, not only are you leaving tons of money on the table, but you are truly missing the opportunity for yourself, for your clients, and for the world, really, to be a greater, fuller, pure expression of your true purpose, of who you've been created and designed to be. And when you truly align from that space, this is where magic happens fast, and it happens easily. And I talk about this a lot. I talk about, collapsing time and effort. Excuse me. Collapsing time and effort is a real thing. And I experience it every day, all day, as do my clients. But the reason why I get to experience it every day, all day, and as do my clients, is because there's pure, clean alignment. And that's when positivity, being positive to me, again, it's not about just like putting on the smile. and being the cheerleader and the encourager, it's really about being an expression of truth. It's being an expression of truth. That to me is what true positivity is, that you're putting out there into the world, is that you are in true alignment with your truth. That's positivity. That's positivity to me. Deb is saying, sometimes it's hard to keep this truth in mind when just starting out coaching. Yes. Tell me more about that, Deb. Tell me what's coming up for you around that. And let me just speak to that as well. Honestly, Deb, no matter where you are in your business, this is required. So, and it can be hard no matter where you are in your business. And here's what I mean by that. Because you may have a full load of clients, you might have a full workshop, you might have money in the bank, and think that alignment with truth then gets easier. And I'm going to say yes and no to that. It probably gets easier in certain ways, but then it's harder in other ways. And let me explain. Is that it might get easier in, let's say, you can close clients easier. It might get easier in that, you can fill a room easier. It might be easier, that there's just more sustainable income in your business. Okay, so maybe that might be easier in this truth of your value, this truth of how you serve your clients, your pricing, etc. But then what happens, even though you're not in the beginning stages of your business, then what happens is, let's say you collaborate with somebody and it goes to shit and you feel betrayed. And now there's this experience that requires you not to turn on yourself. There's this experience that requires, yet again, truth. And for you not to turn on yourself, and for you not to manufacture being positive, but to truly align with your truth, with your value, with the lesson that has been provided for you, even in the midst of, this deal falling apart. Or, you might be further along in your business and, one of your programs falls apart, or the way you used to fill it doesn't work anymore. Or, I just experienced this in my business where I was running a program and it didn't feel right anymore. And so I retired the program, and it was a big part of my business. And so now there was this hole in my business of having to replace that with something that just felt more aligned and felt more true. And so but here's the big part of that decision to retire that program. That was a really, really hard decision. It was really tough. But because of my willingness, my commitment to my truth, my commitment to my truth, period. Even though on the outside it didn't feel positive, it was hard. It had me face what my soul was calling me to do versus just what my ego and my bank account wanted me to do. That was hard. So regardless of where you are in your business, you're going to get faced with opportunities to choose truth over fake positivity, manufactured fear-based positivity. You're going to always be presented with opportunities to pick honoring yourself, your own worth, your own value over your ego, over selling out. You'll always be given those opportunities. So yes, it may be hard in the beginning of building your coaching business, but it'll always, and I hate to say, like, it'll always be hard. It just becomes a choice. And so the practice, the muscle I want you to build, even though you're in the beginning stages of your business, the muscle that I want you to build is that you choose truth all the time, every time, over all else. You choose facing the fear, facing the ugly truth. Sometimes it's ugly. You choose truth always, always and forever, above all else, all the time, every time. And it's not always easy, and it's not always pretty. But your soul, I guarantee you, it's oxygen to your soul. Your soul is just, couldn't be happier, couldn't be more excited, couldn't be more grateful that you're choosing being that fuller, greater expression of your truth, of yourself, versus just doing what's easy, just copying out, selling out, going, doing what everybody else is doing. That, I'm telling you, will turn on, you will actually turn on yourself. Let me explain what's coming through for that. When you choose to ignore truth, your truth, you choose to ignore your soul, you choose to ignore your calling, your purpose, that internally you create this internal turmoil, this internal conflict that literally is like killing you from the inside out, and you become numb to life. You become a zombie. You become just numb, I think is the best word. If anything, it's worse than numb. You become bitter. You become, just that loss of life, that loss of vitality, that loss of desire and passion. When a lot of people say that they're lacking being like motivation. They're stuck. They're lacking passion. They can't find their passion. That truly begins with the willingness to actually face the crud, face the crap, to unlock, to dislodge, and free up, being able to see and express your truth, versus just trying to force yourself out of it. It's not making sense, you guys. I know, I feel like this is really deep. I don't know if I planned on this being so deep. I feel like this is really deep. But Deb, when you're on this journey, and yeah, it's not the easiest thing to build. It's not, period, the easiest thing to build a coaching business, or any business for that matter. I really believe that building a business is probably one of the most spiritual experiences that you can ever have, because it requires you to grow from the inside out. It requires you to grow in your self-worth, in your alignment with truth. Well, and I guess I say it requires that if you want to actually be happy, true happiness. So you're on a very, very exciting journey. And I wouldn't look at what is hard, even though I know you were just commenting on it, not saying that you're resisting it, but putting less thought and energy and focus into, yeah, it's hard in the beginning of building your business, and instead looking at it as an opportunity of, how is this an opportunity to strengthen my alignment with myself? How is this an opportunity to strengthen my knowing of my truth? How is this an opportunity to strengthen my belief in myself and knowing of my value? And so if anything, it's in the beginning that we get all these opportunities, and they're like in our face. And so there's not a shortage of those opportunities. And so pick you. Pick your truth, pick your worth, pick your confidence, pick your, pick abundance over lack, over scarcity. Pick you. And that's really fun. And in the beginning, you get a lot of opportunities to pick you. I mean, we all do every day, all the time, but especially it's magnified in those beginning stages of business. So yes, awesome, great. So this is something that, you know, I am so committed to and so passionate about with my clients, because you know, I can teach my clients all day long how to build a business. That's what I do. You know, I've been in business over 10 years, and for when it comes to a business strategy, business acumen, entrepreneur mindset, you know, that's obviously needed in building a business. It's obviously part of, you know, one of the critical skill sets in building a business. Yes, 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 yes. And what I've also come to learn, and what I've also become, like I said, so passionate about, and it's just an integral part of how I work with my clients, is this alignment piece. Like, I can't separate the two. I can't just teach you business strategy. I can't just teach you how to close a client, how to book discovery calls and close a client, how to, you know, put out a workshop. I can't just teach you how to do that stuff without the alignment piece, without breaking down these emotional, spiritual, mental barriers that are holding you back from knowing your truth. Because if you're not building, I believe, if you're not building your business backed with the energy of truth, of your truth, I believe you're just making it a lot harder. It's going to take a lot longer. It's a lot more exhausting. It's a lot more expensive than it needs to be. And again, I say that because I've been there. I've spent way more than my fair share, taken the long path many of times when it could have been a lot shorter. And so this alignment piece of really learning how to build your business from the energy of true spiritual alignment, of aligning with your value, aligning with your capabilities, your responsibilities, with knowing who you are, your purpose, your values, aligning with your intuition, really letting your spiritual guidance, your spiritual intelligence lead the way in your business. And most people don't know how to do that. Most people do not know how to do that. They know how to get into their heads, overthink something. Again, use positivity as a strategy or a tactic to get what they want. It's not pure. It's not clean. And so, you know, marrying these two parts, the soul and the strategy, aligning truth with strategy and business building strategies is really what, you know, my specialty is, what my passion is really bringing the two together. And I don't believe you can do one without the other. And that's really where, you know, my clients are thriving in their results, I mean, and that's what I get so excited about too. It's not just about feeling good and being more aware and more positive, but it's really about getting more clients, getting more money in the bank, actually filling your workshops, filling your events, filling your retreats. I just had a client a couple weeks ago, had her first retreat. Oh, it's so exciting. It's about helping my clients have the right price point, right? So that they energetically and spiritually align with their prices. They're not just pricing their products and services based off what so-and-so is pricing them off of, or what, you know, the 10 other workshop prices are, but truly aligning, pricing them from a place of true alignment. And it's amazing what you can build and how quickly you can build it when you have alignment. I have a client who she almost tripled her price to her mastermind group because it felt right, because she tripled the price because her original price was fear-based. Her original price was what she thought they would pay, and she didn't want to have to face the rejection and the no. So that's what she priced it at. But then when we got her in alignment, it was like, well, actually that price didn't feel good. Totally fear-based. Almost tripled that price. And in 10 days, got 10 clients. 10 people signed up for her mastermind group in 10 days at almost 3 times the rate. that she was originally charging. And that, my friends, is the power of true alignment, of true positivity, is when it's pure and clean. I was trying to say pure and clean at the same time. So, there's great power in what you can create quickly, easily, when there is true alignment, when this, from energetically, that you're positive, because you're in alignment with the joy of expression of your purpose. And that is so much more potent. It's so much more magnetic. It's so much more effective and efficient than like a manufactured positivity. Does that make sense? So I do want to put out there, if this is something that you feel is maybe a missing piece or something that you want to elevate and take to the next level, is how you are building your business in alignment with spiritually and strategically, bringing those two together. I want to invite you to apply for my Break Your Records Inner Circle. That's what we do. We break records. That's what we do. We break records, and it's totally awesome and fun. We do it in spiritual alignment. We do it using our hearts and our minds, marrying them together, and rocking it. So you can type the word results in the comments below. What's that noise? You can type results in the comments below, and you'll get some more information on that program if you're interested. And I'd love to have you apply and rock and roll break some of those awesome records that you have set for yourself. That's so funny, that noise. My kids have a toy vacuum, and it's going off. That's really weird. I don't know what that means. What's that mean? The toy vacuum is talking to me right now. So anyways, all right, my friends, have an amazing, amazing rest of your day and week. Go rock it. Go have an amazing, purpose-driven, passion-filled day. Go rock your businesses. If you have any questions, you need anything, you just let me know. Mwah. Love ya.